Hello students, welcome to the course on Basic Electronics Engineering and the course code is EC101. This is the course for BTech, first semester CSE, IT and FT students and second semester EC students. Myself, Dr. Shurojit Boshak, Assistant Professor of EC Department, Guru Nanak Institute of Technology, Kolkata. And this is my official email address. Today we are going to start lecture number 5 from the 5th module, that is feedback and operational amplifier. Actually, in the last class we have completed the feedback amplifier portion. Now today we are going to start on operational amplifier with the topic of electrical equivalent circuit, circuit symbol, pin configuration, ideal characteristics, and block diagram representation. And the lesson objective of this topic is learn how operational amplifiers are modeled and analyzed, and to design op-amp circuits to perform operations such as integration, differentiation on electronic signals. And this topic is mapped to CO number 2. So let us start lecture number 5 from the module number 5, feedback and operational amplifiers, with the topic of operational amplifiers. Operational amplifier is abbreviated as op-amp. So what is operational amplifier? The operational amplifier is a direct coupled high gain electronic voltage amplifier with differential inputs and usually a single output, and is used for performing a wide variety of linear as well as nonlinear functions. The term operational signifies the different mathematical operations that the op-amp can perform, like addition, subtraction, differentiation, and integration on the input signals. And these are the two inputs. And other operations realized by op-amp are DC as well as AC amplification, rectification, filtration, waveform generation, nonlinear wave shaping, servo controls, impedance transformation, oscillators, voltage regulators, analog to digital and digital to analog converters. These are the all applications of op-amp. Hence, this is often referred to as the basic analog integrated circuit, and which is already I told that it is abbreviated as op-amp. So a practical op-amp consists of a large number of transistors, diodes, resistors integrated monolithically in a small chip to make it cost effective and highly reliable. Nowadays, integrated op-amp has been widely accepted as a versatile, predictable, and economic system, which is a building block in analog integrated circuits. IC op-amps are useful in communication equipment, instrumentation, and data processing. The advantage of op-amp is that it negative feedback can be applied, and this is I will show you, and this is provided by feedback elements independent of the characteristics of the transistor and other elements constituting the op-amp. This is the IC number of op-amp, IC741. This is the symbol. This figure is basically the symbol of an op-amp, and the IC number of op-amp is IC741, and first this is called reference point. In the symbol, see the two input terminals are present. Pin number 2 or minus terminal is called inverting input terminal, which is labeled as minus, which signifies that a signal applied at this terminal appears with reverse polarity at the output. And another terminal, which is called non-inverting terminal and which is labeled as plus, pin number 3, which signifies that a signal at this terminal appears at the output terminal with the same polarity. The output voltage from pin number 6 is proportional to the difference of the two input signal voltages applied at inverting and non-inverting input terminals. This is the pin configuration of an IC741. It consists of 8 pins. 1 and 15 are offset null. Pin number 2 is inverting input. In pin number 3, again non-inverting input. Pin number 7 and 4 is 7 is plus VCC supply voltage and 4 is minus VCC, and 8 is no connection, and from 6 we get the output. Now, what is offset null for pin number 1 and pin number 5? The input offset voltage must be controlled to minimize offset. Since the op-amp is a differential amplifier, perfect balance is obtained in an ideal op-amp, since for two equal voltages the output is 0, or the output should be 0. But this is not so for a practical op-amp due to mismatch of built-in transistors following inverting and non-inverting input terminals. So this result in unequal bias currents flowing through the input terminals. Therefore, to balance the output or to achieve offset null, an input offset voltage is applied between the two input terminals. Clear about offset null? Now pin number 2 is inverting input. All input signal at this pin will be inverted at the output pin 6. Pin number 2 and pin number 3 are very important to get the correct input signals. Otherwise, the op-amp cannot function. And pin number 3 is called non-inverted or non-inverting input. That means all input signals at this pin will be processed normally without any inversion. Pin 4 is minus V, negative supply voltage terminal. Pin 5 already I defined, then pin number 6, that is the output pin. The signal at the op-amp's inverting input produces a signal opposite polarity at the output, while the signal at the non-inverting input produces a signal of same polarity at the output. Pin number 7 is plus VCC pin, which is the positive supply voltage terminal of 741 IC. And pin 8 is not connected or no connection. So this is all about the pin configuration of IC 741. Next is the characteristics of ideal op-amp. This is very important questions. What are the characteristics of an ideal op-amp? First characteristics, remember that infinite voltage gain. Second, infinite input impedance. Third, zero output impedance. Infinite bandwidth. Infinite CMRR, common mode rejection ratio. I will discuss on about common mode rejection ratio and slew rate, which is also infinite for ideal op-amp characteristics. Okay. So these 5 characteristics are very important. First one is the infinite voltage gain, infinite input impedance, only zero output impedance. Output impedance should be 0 and all others are infinite. Infinite bandwidth, infinite CMRR, infinite slew rate. Okay. Next is the block diagram representation of an op-amp. Op-amp available commercially generally employ 4-stage cascade block structure. There are 4 block structures are present. The first stage, 2 inputs are inverting and non-inverting input. The first stage is dual input, balanced output, double-ended. That means it's a 2-port network, 2 input and 2 output terminals. So it is a dual input, balanced output, differential amplifier. The function of this stage is to provide high voltage gain for different signals and rejection of the common mode signal of both the terminals. These input stage also provide high input resistance. The second stage is a dual input unbalanced output. That means it is a single ended dual input, one single output. So it is an unbalanced output differential amplifier driven by the output of the first stage and also provides additional gain. Direct coupling of the first and second stages provides the output DC voltage of the second stage to be well above the ground potential. This DC level tends to limit the peak to peak output voltage swing without distortion and also contributes to the error in the DC output signal, which makes it undesirable and necessary to incorporate a level shifting circuit at the output of the second stage of the op-amp to translate the DC level to zero potential with respect to ground. Hence, this stage is a level translator or shifter, and this represents the third stage of the op-amp. Here an emitter follower with a voltage divider or with constant current bias is used as a level shifter of the op-amp. This stage is also referred to as a buffer stage, and its high input resistance prevents loading down the high gain second stage. The output stage or the last stage is a basically a push-pull amplifier that increases the output voltage swing and raises the current supplying capability of op-amp. The output stage is also known as the driver stage, which provides low output resistance. Okay, so this is all about the block diagram. Next, I want to discuss a term which is called CMRR, common mode rejection ratio. What do you mean by common mode? What do you mean by CMRR? This is the circuit diagram of a common mode rejection, common mode. Two transistors are connected to form a differential amplifier. Now, the amplifier is expected to reject the common mode signals at the output, which shows that the output due to the noise would theoretically be zero. In other words, the common mode gain, which is represented as AC, should ideally be zero, and the differential gain AD should ideally be infinitely large. Hence, the CMRR would be ideally equal to infinity. Now, how it is measured? It is defined as a ratio of the differential voltage gain to the common mode gain AC, and differential voltage gain is AD. So normally the CMRR is expressed in dB, which is CMRR equal to 20 log magnitude of AD by AC. So in that way CMRR is represented. Okay. Okay. And the next day, in the next class, we discuss about AC equivalent circuit of an op-amp. for ideal and practical op-amp. Equivalent circuit for ideal and practical op-amp. So let us stop here. Thank you. Now I am ending the today's class.